Okay, Christina, this is your first AMEC conference. What do you think of it?
I really enjoyed it. I think being my first time, I get to meet with a lot of people who are instrumental, in putting measurement and give it, the Barcelona principles and give that in place. So it's a great opportunity for me to meet the key people in measurement community, as well as listening to sessions, both from a client's perspective as well as from agency perspective, and hear both what's going well and what are some of the challenges, and also identify that gaps that I can take away with me to back to my agency and start to get some work done.
Fantastic. And what have you learned from AMEC? What are you going to take away from Amsterdam?
Yeah, I think one of the key themes I keep hearing is kind of a lack of consistent standards in terms of when it comes to measurement. I think it's great that about 4 years ago we have the Barcelona principle that gives people the general guidance. I think we're at a point that we need to drill down further and get to a more granular level of details. When we talk about measurement in social media across the different channels. We heard it in the sessions today in terms of how do we define that, which channel is paid and owned. It's actually not as clearly defined as people thought, or as easily defined. So that's one area. And the second area is in terms of actually building up skill set, at least as far as I'm going to take away, is building up the skill set for the people on my team in terms of the areas of, especially when it comes to social media measurement, because my team have some people, but they're more at the junior level. So I think that social media measurement, the framework, the guideline, all of that, I will be able to take back and share with the team, and that it's a great learning opportunity for them.
Fantastic. And I guess building on that, the theme of the conference here is upping our game. What are you doing in FleishmanHillard to up your game in the field of PR measurement?
Yeah. So there are two main things actually that's in that area. First, I think it's really critical, and what I see as the next frontier is in terms of moving along the communication of social media metrics and link them to brand metrics and business metrics. So I think up until now, there's a lot of emphasis on social media metrics, and we start to see business demand. I need to link that to my business outcome. So you start to see companies get into that. So that's something that our team need to step up to the plate and be able to see how exactly we do that. But even within the PR space itself, I think it was fascinating for me to hear the discussion about pay, own, earn, and whether those channels and how much work the member companies are doing. I think one of the things that we need to be better at is actually look at the interaction among those channels. I think the reason we see some lacking in some of those areas is because we're not looking at the interaction, right? So the TV interact with the tablets, right, that influence people's perception. But how does that exactly work? We need to understand that relationship. And I think when we can get to that point, we'll have a lot more powerful insights coming out of that, not just looking at each channel in isolation.